good morning or good afternoon, whatever the case might be. But the first playing of the show is Good Morning on Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Again, it replays on Friday morning at 7 a.m. And then a very popular time is 2 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. More and more people are working in the week and all, and they watch it on Saturdays and Sundays. So we thank everybody that does take the time to watch the program, and anytime you feel that we're not going in a direction that we used to go in, please let us know.
Call Bobby.
Call Bobby, that's right. Call Bobby. But seriously, we try to bring you nothing but good things, and every now and then I have to explain to someone, they said, well, you talk about obituaries. Well, but we talk about people that we know, or we know someone that was a member of that family. We try to speak well about the deceased, as well as the family members that make up that deceased's family. And speaking of people who have done some good things in their life, I'm talking about Miss Flo Inhern. When it comes to the orphan train descendants, she has been untiring in her efforts to bring the museum to Opelousas, to get it built and operational. And she's constantly trying to work, and she watches the Bobby Dupre show. I know that because she called me a couple of weeks ago and she said, you know, you spoke about the plentiful acorns. She says, I have some in case you need to buy some. I have a few I would be happy to sell to you. So that meant she watched the program. Thank you, Miss Flo. And another, while we're talking about the Orphan Train Museum, the descendants have recently published a cookbook, and the cookbook is a fundraiser for the museum. So you could contact someone, you could contact Miss Flo Inhern, you could contact Athalie Dupre, who is works as public relations officer, and she's displaying a copy of the receipts and remembrances. That's a good way to call it, because that's usually it's a recipe that was handed down.
Correct.
Either the mother or the grandmother or the great-grandmother. It just stays going.
And of course, Mr. Harold's always around there too, her husband.
Her husband. And of course, if you want to call him, look up Harold Dupre. And it's a good cookbook, and it's very reasonably priced.
How about this real quick again? We'll hit it just a minute in the second half. Don't forget, Breakfast with Santa is next week, next Wednesday, December 7th from 7 till 9. Send us a donation
in the morning
at Santa, P.O. Box 70, Opelousas, Louisiana, 70571, or call me 351-0732. It's at the Indian Hills Country Club, like it is each year. It's our 8th annual. We need your help. Send a donation and come by the breakfast. Now go ahead. Took care of it.
Yes, I have a few death notices to make mention of, and one of them is Miss Jeanette Mott Young, and she survived. She was pretty good
91.
age. 91 years old. People are living more and older and older.
That's a good sign for both of us.
Yes, sir. And she has 4 daughters: Judith Young Marks Judy, Lorraine Young Williams, husband Jim, Mary Beth Young Ballara, and Vincent. I didn't realize that was part of the family till I read the obituary here. And one other, Vincent, and Janine Young Dupre and husband Dupre.
How about her brother?
Her brother is
Father
Joseph Wilson Mott.
Everybody knows Father Mott over here at St. Andrew. He's retired now in, I guess is it New Iberia where he's at down there? It's down south. I think so.
That funeral took place last Sunday, November the 27th. Another one is Miss Effie Bertrand Leger, and she's going to be buried today, Wednesday the 30th. And she lived in Baton Rouge, and what got me to, I didn't know her. She's 97. Can you imagine? Living out there in the country, breathing that good, fresh,
not
clean
far
air.
from Palmetto, man. That's how
right.
It works.
And her daughter is Gloria Leger Morrow, and husband Sam Morrow of Krotz Springs, the Exxon station man with the convenience store and the restaurant there. Sam and I go way back. He used to attend, before you started coming to retreat, he was a retreatant. I think when Mr. Frank Deese died, Frank made every retreat with us, and his family for that matter. I think that's who had got Sam to go, and I think when he died, well, then Sam quit coming. And Sam, you could come back and be with us.
We got room. Give me a call.
We have room. In fact, you could. You're talking to the man right here.
I can help you out.
Another person who died recently, I didn't know him, was Mr. John, better known as Mr. Boise Martin from Breaux Louisiana. And in 1972, he became the owner-dealer of Domingue Motors, which is now Buck and Johnny's pizzeria, the building.
Right.
They bought that building, and they built a new building, of course, when you getting off the interstate right there on the main street there.
Right.
And then, of course, it was later changed to Martin Chevrolet. And I know his son, John Martin, and his wife, Diana. They have a nice camp over at Sippamo Point, and his boat is called Silverado after the Chevrolet, after the pick-em-up truck. So my deepest sympathy to that family, and it's quite a large family. And another one, and I went to the wake 2 nights ago, Monday night. Miss Eula Krantz Conway Andrus passed away. Miss Eula was a Krantz, and I guess the first 2 people that I saw there was her brother Rodney and his wife, and we spoke, and they were glad to see me there. And Miss Eula was 83, 83, and I knew her son, and I know her son, Ricky.
Good friend of mine too, Ricky.
Conway.
Loves politics. What was a police juror
at one time.
Sure.
Then he left that and went back to New Orleans and worked with the Krantz family, Marie Krantz, and her son Brian. She owned the fairgrounds for a number of years, and then she passed away, and it went into the son. And he came on back home and lives there with he and his family. And also, she had married Mr. Leon Andrus, who also died. And I went to see Ronnie Andrus. Ronnie worked for our company years and years ago. He lives in Luling, right out of New Orleans. Right. And he wasn't there. Felt bad, but Ricky, I know Ricky told him that I had gone. And Ricky reminded me of something. You know, people, it's funny how you remember little things. And I know I remember a lot of little things about different things that occurred in my life. He met me in New Orleans one day, and he says, I almost didn't recognize you. You've shaved your beard. And I said, yeah, Mama's been fussing at me. She said that pretty face of mine, I've covered it with a beard. Right. Now, mind you, I had a brother that had a beard also, but she never told Cody anything about the beard. But she stayed on me.
That sibling rivalry.
She stayed on me to cut.
I like Cody
to shave
too,
it.
you know.
So I shaved it. 3 weeks after that, Mama had not noticed that I had, and I was there every day. My office was right next door to their house. Right. She saw me every day. She never commented, so I started letting the beard go back, and here's the beard. And of course, the beard's a little bit long because Santa has a big beard.
Right.
And I don't like to wear all that fake. I just rather let my little beard be Santa. And
you look like Santa. You look almost like, if I wouldn't have known any better, that pin right next to you looks just like you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Susie Peck, for that project.
You know,
there'll be some of those pins for sale for you to remind people about the fact that you support the Cerebral Palsy Clinic as well.
You know, that surprised me that he remembered that little conversation. And of course, Mr. Earl Orman, everybody knew Earl Orman in town, the family, the boys, Miss Bonita, his wife, my cousin. Earl was age 83. Of course, he was a member of the Elks Club. He was an avid hunter, fisherman. I remember him working, he had a drayage, they called it, a delivery. He picked up merchandise off the train, and he would deliver it to Cash Drug, where I was working my way through high school. And got some good stories about that, but I'm not going to get into it because we're going to run out of time.
We're running out.
But he's had a beautiful family, and look at that smile. That is Earl Orman. They picked the right picture to put in the paper.
And how
one
about
more.
That one.
Mr. Bobby Nicholson, Sr. Mr. Bobby was age 84, about the same age, and people that knew each other very, very well. I sat with Bobby probably in the last month, 6 weeks ago, at the Elks Lodge.
Right.
He would come on Tuesdays and pick up his meal for the night.
Right.
And good conversation. And he was, having some little problems, but I had certainly no idea that he would pass away this quick.
This weekend we did the annual sugarcane syrup making project at Tommy Dejan's house, and of course that's Tommy's uncle. Tommy's mother, Miss June, who just passed away in the last couple of years, was the sister. And of course they both sat side by side for years as we made sugarcane out there and talked about growing up around all this type of thing and seeing it come back. That Tommy worked hard on it. But the first year I hadn't seen Mr. Bobby there, and I asked Tommy. He says he's been under the weather. He was feeling a little bit better, but it's not good. He said there's some complications, and it was very quick what ended up happening. I think an aneurysm type issue. But really good guy, really nice guy.
Really, I mean, just you couldn't fault him. He had that laid back, but yet he was very involved in several different businesses over his lifetime, several clubs that he was very active. He was one of the founders of the Bi-State Fishing Rodeo, which is 60-something years old. So
some of the younger folks my age might know Vincent, his son Vince, that does a realty and also the little market that they're doing in the Sunset area as well right now. So
our deepest sympathies, and I hope I can go. Let's see, the family's requested visited hours to be Thursday. That'll be today if you're watching the program in the morning. December the 1st from 5 to 10 p.m. And again on 8 a.m. till 10 a.m., which would be the funeral time, and the Mass will be held at the St. Landry Catholic Church here in Opelousas.
He was an usher at St. Landry. So, okay, how about some more?
Like I said, he was involved in a lot of things.
Piggly Wiggly. If you're looking for groceries throughout Acadiana, Opelousas, Church Point, Simmsport, Rain, Scott, Cecilia, St. Martinville, Piggly Wiggly is your place to go. Very active in our Breakfast with Santa. Joey Quibido is one of our guys. He keeps that long list and makes sure everything gets checked off. But Piggly Wiggly, they've got all the things you need right now this time of the year. Great groceries, great prices with locations, easy to get to. Go by and see the pig. And how about Quarters Casino? If you're north of Opelousas or you want to travel a little bit, get mama away from the smell of her own cooking, go in that direction. One place you can stop is El Pico de Gallo Mexican Restaurant and Cantina, just north of Opelousas in the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza. They got good Chevron gas, open 24/7.
Big Chevron for your motorhomes, your pick-em-up trucks and all. The diesel have a complete aisle of it.
And crispy, crunchy chicken inside as well. Go by the convenience store there. And how about one more sponsor before I let up a little bit here? Steamboat Warehouse. If you go all the way to Washington, get mama away from the smell of own cooking again, Steamboat Warehouse for a little sit-down, fine restaurant dining, great seafood, fresh Louisiana seafood, great steaks, wine selection second to none. Have an adult libation right now. The weather's cool. You can get mama to put that nice fur coat on and go sit outside and just enjoy that Bloody Mary with a pickled string bean out there, the Steamboat Warehouse. And tell chef owner Jason Huguet hi, our lead chef for the Breakfast with Santa.
That's right, the youngest man. So hopefully the tradition will continue on. That's right. Many reach out to help others. We've been talking about helping others. The food bank here in Opelousas really needs your help. Dana Reed does a great job, but she can't do it by herself. She can't do it with just the volunteers. We're going to have to dig in our pockets and bring them some food.
You can bring it direct to Icons, or this Saturday, if you bring it to Queen of Angels, their food drive, all that food is going to go to Icons. So very good cause.
Great. I'm glad I brought this up then.
KSLO, we'll see you on the other side of 3. Oh, and this weekend, if you're watching TV, here at 3 p.m. on Saturday, they're going to show the Westminster Vermilion Catholic game. Westminster came up just a little bit short of advancing in the playoffs, but still was a very good game. Vermilion Catholic's just a tremendous powerhouse. So it's worth watching to see all the kids and everything, and set your recorders to watch your kids play. That's 3 o'clock this Saturday.
We received a late notice, and I think we talked about him, but maybe we didn't. A person that I've known his family all of my life, and I'm speaking of Sheldon Ledoux, passed away September the 13th of this year. And his wife, Carol Ledoux, just asked us to mention, because a lot of people, she's still running across people that had not heard